All right, let's talk about something you hear about all the time, the greenhouse effect. But what does it actually mean? Is it good? Is it bad? Well, it's kind of both. Let's break it down and really get to the bottom of how our planet stays warm enough for us to live here. So, first things first, before we dive into any of the problems, we got to get one thing straight. The greenhouse effect, in its natural state, is absolutely essential for life on Earth. It's not the villain in this story. Originally, it was the hero. So what is it really? It's actually a pretty elegant process. You have certain gases in our atmosphere, carbon dioxide, methane, even just plain old water vapor, and they act like a kind of shield. They let the sun's energy come in, but they don't let all of it escape back out into space. Without this, Earth would just be a frozen rock. Seriously. This whole process is what makes our planet livable. The best way to picture this is to think of a giant, invisible blanket for the planet. This layer of gas just wraps around the Earth and keeps us at that perfect, cozy temperature. Not scorching hot, not freezing cold. It's this beautiful natural balance. Or at least, it used to be. And this is where the story takes a turn. See, the problem isn't the blanket itself. The problem is that, for the last couple of 100 years, we've been making that blanket thicker and thicker and thicker. And this comparison really says it all. Over on the left, you've got the natural effect, a perfectly balanced system trapping just the right amount of heat to keep things comfortable. But on the right, well, that's where we are now. An intensified, imbalanced system that traps way too much heat. It is the classic definition of too much of a good thing, and it's what's driving global warming. So when did all this start to change? Well, the evidence is pretty clear. The big turning point was the Industrial Revolution. Before that, things were more or less in balance. But once we started burning fossil fuels like there was no tomorrow, we started pumping massive amounts of extra greenhouse gases into the air, thickening that planetary blanket year after year. And that leads us to today. Okay, so what does the thicker blanket actually mean for us down here on the ground? This isn't just some abstract science concept anymore. We are seeing, feeling, and measuring the real-world consequences all around us right now. You can really boil the impacts down to three big things that we're all starting to notice. First, temperatures are just going up. And we're not talking about a few extra beach days. We're talking about a steady, global rise in dangerously hot days and nights that just don't cool off. Second, all that extra trapped energy is supercharging our weather. It's turning regular storms into monster hurricanes and dry spells into devastating droughts. And third, our seasons are getting all mixed up. And this is a really big deal. When the seasons start to shift, it throws nature completely out of whack. I mean, think about it. Plants might start to bloom before the insects that pollinate them are even around. Or migrating birds might show up to their summer home to find their food source hasn't appeared yet. This kind of disruption creates a ripple effect through the entire ecosystem, posing huge challenges for wildlife that rely on those predictable cycles. Okay, so that's the problem. And yeah, it's big, it's serious, but it's not hopeless. Not even close. The good news is we understand what's happening, and because we understand the science, we have a pretty clear roadmap for how to start thinning that blanket back down to where it should be. And this isn't just a random wish list, it's a real coordinated strategy. The biggest piece of the puzzle is transforming our energy, moving to renewables, and just being way smarter about how we use power. At the same time, we have to help nature help us. That means protecting and restoring the forests and oceans that literally breathe this stuff in. Then you add in smarter farming and put a stop to deforestation. And the glue that holds it all together? Strong international cooperation. I know, that last slide might feel like a lot, but you can really boil it all down to two main goals. It's pretty simple. On one hand, we have to stop putting so much of this stuff into the air. That's reducing emissions. And on the other hand, we need to help nature do what it does best, pull carbon out of the air. Our forests, our oceans, scientists call them carbon sinks for a reason. They literally sink and store massive amounts of carbon dioxide. Restoring that balance is the name of the game. And look, while all that big picture stuff is absolutely critical, it's all built on the choices we make every single day. Things like taking public transport, choosing appliances that don't waste energy, or just trying to reduce our overall waste. It all adds up. These actions send a powerful message to companies and to governments that we want a better, more sustainable way forward. So let's just pull this all together for a second. We've talked about how a natural, life-giving system has been knocked completely out of balance. But we've also looked at the clear path we can take to start fixing it.
So, if you're going to remember anything from this, let it be these key points. 1. The greenhouse effect is natural and it's necessary. 2. Human activity has made it way too strong. 3. The effects we're seeing on our weather and our seasons are very real. And 4, most importantly, we can fix this. Solutions exist on every single level, from global treaties all the way down to you and me.
And that really is the question, isn't it? The science is clear, the roadmap is there. What happens next really depends on the choices all of us make, together. So, where do we go from here?